Good morning. If I sound like a frog that smokes, that's me. I've got a little bit of congestion in my head and my chest, and so that's why I sound like this. Give me another drag on that cigarette, Mr. Frog. Anyway, welcome to the gojenn podcast. Today is Sunday, November 26, 2017. I'm your hostess, gojenn. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as gojenn, Gojenn. And please, if you enjoy the podcast, like and subscribe, and that way you'll be notified if you click the little bell right next to that. See, it's right, yeah, right there. You can be notified of every time I upload content. So I've kind of had a little bit of a schedule change when I did my artist trading card video and my process of how I make them and what I kind of do, And so that came out last Saturday, and today's Sunday. So normally I'm an every Sunday kind of girl, but this time I had an extra day. I hope you enjoyed that video. I enjoyed making it. One of the things about making these videos is it makes me more aware, of how and why I do things, because I feel like I need to be ready to explain it to you. So first I try to explain it to me. Does that make sense? So I really enjoyed that video, and I hope you did too. It was a good experience for me. And I haven't arted since that night, which was last Saturday. I have been on a crochet mojo kick. So I have, are you sitting down? I hope so. I have finished objects, not just works in process. I have actual finished objects. So let's get to that, okay? First and foremost is this beautiful Fortune's Shawlette. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by Moogly or Tamara. I can't think of Tamara's last name. Shoot, I'm sorry. But she's Moogly, Moogly, and she has tons of free patterns. Her patterns, I've made several. I've made this before. Her patterns are well written, easy to understand, and usually they have an easy pattern repeat. I really, really like it. And if I'm looking like a lobster that's getting ready to jump out of the pot, it's because I took a really hot shower to kind of, and my lungs do feel clearer, but I still sound croaky. But anyway, I'm going to try to get the husband to take a video of me wearing this so you can see it all, since I can't get it in one frame. But it is beautiful, and I'm very, very happy with that.
Okay.
Can you get it all in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold on. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm going. It ain't recording voice, is it?
Yeah. That's that look. You can stop. One gift. What else do I have? Excuse me, I'll be right back. Bad podcaster. I was supposed to pick these up before because I thought of it. I said, don't forget to get the washcloths, because that's the other thing I've been making is washcloths. And I've had them pinned down to kind of try and stretch them out. These that I use Tunisian crochet on, they tend to roll, and you can see that they tend to roll. And the edges are so nice, I don't feel the need to go back with a crab stitch or a single crochet edge. but I may have to just because they're so rolly. But I know once they are used a little bit, they'll flatten out. So I did 2 in this fire color. These are all just cotton yarns from Hobby Lobby. And I think they're probably like, what is it, sugar something? I don't know. I don't remember. But this is just the kitchen cotton. Then I made a green one, and it rolls. And you know, a washcloth, you don't care. And Tunisian crochet has this wonderful nubbly backside on the simple stitch. This is Tunisian crochet simple stitch, just nothing fancy. And on the back, can you see how nubbly that is? It's more nubbly than the wrong side of stockinette, than the purl side. And this side's pretty nice. But if you need to scrub, you have this texture, and it's just wonderful for washcloths. And I made this one the other day. It's just kitchen cotton that I had a little bit extra of, and I said, well, I'll keep going until I finish. Well, it kept going. I didn't mean for it to be so big, but this is just a little, you know, 4 double crochet skip, 4 double crochet skip, and then on the other row you work into the skips. Nothing special about that. I didn't mean for it to be so big. But yay, that goes in my gift pile. And I'm glad, because this year gifts are going to be really tight. I've told my husband I'm going to have to put him out on the corner. I work in a really bad neighborhood, and I'd said, I'm going to put you out on the corner with a little cup and see if maybe some of those folks will feel so bad for you that they give you money. But you know, if you don't know, those of you who haven't been around forever, like some of you have, my husband is trying to get disability. He has uncontrolled diabetes. Even with insulin, his numbers go way up and way down, and that's, you know, he does what the doctor says most of the time. You know, he's a sweet-aholic. He loves his sweets way more than me. I'm a salty, crunchy potato chips. That's me. Anyway, he's been out of work for 2 years now, and I told him I'm gonna have to put him on the corner. We need some money. So, okay, what am I going to work on next? I think I'm going to pull out my blanket squares and join them. See if I don't have enough for a blanket. I think I do. The last time I counted, I did. I may not, so I'll have to see. And I need to go through all my gifts and make sure I have what I think I have for all of my friends and family. Are y'all? I think I'm finished. I may make some more washcloths, just, you know, as little stocking stuffers, because everybody can use a washcloth. But if nothing else, throw out your old one and use the new one. So I don't have anything that I must do, so that's a good thing. It's still November, so that means I'm not going to be Christmas morning doing something. I have done that. I made a quilt for my parents one year, and they couldn't leave until I finished the binding. I love quilting. I hate this little piece of hair. I'm going to cut it off. I love quilting, but I love being able to work in my little area without having to get up. Heaven forbid. Let's see, books. I've been reading and listening a lot while I've been on my crochet mojo. I don't know. I think I'm French, maybe. Let's see, the last time we were talking, I was reading American Gods by Neil Gaiman, the Audible version. That was fabulous. I give it 2 thumbs up, A++. I don't remember it being near as enjoyable when I read it before. And I think I did read it before because some parts were familiar, but some others weren't. And sometimes when I'm reading, if a whole lot of other stuff is going on, like emotional stuff in my life, sometimes I don't hear what I'm reading, or it doesn't make it all the way back to my brain. I'm just seeing the words and reading the words and not getting the full picture. So, but it was fabulous. American Gods by Neil Gaiman. If you haven't read it, oh, it's fabulous. It's what happened when the European gods left Europe with the people that came to the United States and to live in America. It's what happened to those gods once they got to America. And it's a very inventive, imaginative story. I really enjoyed it. And I am currently reading Anansi Boys, also by Neil Gaiman. It's kind of the second, but they're not really a series. They're just kind of linked with these American gods. In between the 2 Neil Gaiman books, I read and finished the Stephen King book, Revival. Very good, not his best. Not his best, but I really enjoyed it. To me, Stephen King writes just ordinary characters better than anybody. He started off poor, and he knows what it is to be just a regular working guy. And I love his characters. More than anything, I love his characters. I can do without the gross stuff. And this one had, if you don't like gross stuff, because I have friends who say, oh, I don't like Stephen King because he writes gross horror. This was very little horror. Very little gross. Very little. It was more in the mind, because he writes good psychological scary stuff. So I highly recommend it. Highly. Like I said, it's not his best. For that, you need to go see The Stand, read the book. You need to read the Gunslinger. It's not a trilogy series. The first one's fabulous. They're all good, but the first one just draws you in so much. And I have other favorites, but The Stand is by far my favorite. I've read it 6, 7 times. And now, like I said, I'm reading Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman. And is that all? I finished up the Molly Hyde and the Land of Light by Hugh Howey. Oh, gosh. By the end of it, I was miserable, just going end. And I was reading it on my Kindle, and I just read. It was not good. No. And there's a third one in the series, and I would like to know how the series ends, but I'm not spending my time to read it. I'm going to see if there's a Cliff Notes version of it or something, or just read the last chapter. I normally can't stand people who do that, but I might for this one. Okay. So also this week was my husband and I celebrated our 6th wedding anniversary. Yay! He's a good guy, and he said some sweet things on Facebook where other people could see him. Wow. And so we had we went out and had a nice dinner at a sub shop, kind of. When you're broke, you're broke. But it was very good, and we enjoyed it, and he was really sweet for the day. Yay! Then I had to work Black Friday because I work for the company I work for is owned by a bank. And we do financial processing, which has nothing to do with the bank. and yet we still had to work. No comment. Thanksgiving, my husband, who does all the cooking, he and his mom cooked the Thanksgiving dinner, and I just went along and ate. It was very nice. Turkey dressing, all the trimmings, until I was absolutely miserable. I could barely move. I'm not used to a big meal like that. I'm just not. I don't ever eat a meal, with a side dish. I'm lucky if I have whatever the main thing is, much less a side. And that's just how we've gotten, we have what we like and we just have it. So anyway, and that's where we are. By the time I podcast again, it will be December. And like I said, I hope you are all finished with your crafting. You have your little stack of gifts all ready, and you can just enjoy December. Okay, that's what I say, but I don't think it's going to happen. Since I lost my daughter, holidays are really hard for me, and I don't enjoy them that much. It's just another day to me. So, but anyway, and I'm not a winter person. This getting cold and having to scrape ice off the windshield in the morning in the dark and blah, wah. Sorry, you're not here to hear me complain, but I love the spring there. I was trying to think of something positive, and that was that's where I went to. Okay, well, I think that is all that I have. Like I said, it will be December, so I will probably include a little flip through of my bullet journal and a look at how I'm planning for December. You can see that I have this much left in my journal, so I will be able to get December. This started in June, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, started, whoa, and a ton of stuff falls out. Because yes, I put stuff in the back that I don't want to lose. So anyway, it started in June. It's very possible I could get an entire year in one of these books. It's very possible. And of course I have washi tape on the edges of the pages that begin a new month, and that's how I can find where everything starts. And I cannot express to you how happy this makes me. I just sometimes, when I don't have anything else to do, I will just flip through it and look at it and say, oh, I remember that, and gosh, that was before I started my watercolor adventure or whatever. So I love it. So I will probably have that as part of next week's podcast, and I will see you then, probably on Sunday. Until then, get that crafting done. Don't save it till the last minute. Don't procrastinate like I do. And until then, I wish you nothing but love and laughter.